With Christmas coming up in less than a week, Niantic has gifted us with a plethora of new events, new features, and new updates. So I think with all of that said, I think it should go without saying that we've got some news. So with our first kind of sort of cluster of news, Niantic has unveiled several new events that will be released, either already released or will be released during the month of December. The first of which being a brand new Go Rocket themed special research called a challenging development. So this special research will allow you to challenge Giovanni once again, and if you manage to defeat Giovanni during the month of December, you'll be able to get yourself a Shadow Zapdos. So much like if you were able to complete Looming in the Shadows during the month of November, you got yourself a Shadow Articuno. This time, if you complete a challenging development, or if you manage to complete Looming in the Shadows during this month, you'll get yourself a Shadow Zapdos instead. So with all of that said, I wish you guys the best of luck in finding, challenging, and defeating Giovanni. So for the next event that is set in December, as of Monday, December 16th, the Pokemon that are hatching from 2, 5, 7, and 10 kilometer eggs has been reshuffled, so now different Pokemon will be hatching from each of these eggs. As of right now, the Sylph Road is currently looking into which particular Pokemon are hatching from which egg types, so if you want to keep up to date to that, I'll go ahead and leave a link down below to their website so you can check out the current egg pool. So for our next event, Virizion will be the next legendary Pokemon to be featured in 5-star raids from Tuesday, December 17th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time until Tuesday, January 7th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time. So this Pokemon is a grass and fighting type, so that means that it has a double weakness to flying type moves, and it will also be weak to any psychic, fire, fairy, ice, and poison type attackers. Something that is worth noting is that if you and a buddy happen to be fairly high level in Pokemon Go and happen to have a good amount of great flying type counters such as Moltres, Rayquaza, or even Honchkrow, it is reportedly possible to be able to defeat Virizion with just 2 people. However, without those flying type counters, being able to take it on with just 2 people becomes a lot more difficult due to the fact that Virizion has a pretty good defensive stat. That being said, if you happen to be in a group of around 5 or 6 people and everyone has at least some decent counters against Virizion, you should be able to take it on, no problem. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description down below that links to an article by Pokemon Go Hub that shows some of the best counters for Virizion. So for our next event, in addition to Virizion coming to Legendary Raids, Lugia and Ho-Oh will be returning to Legendary Raids for a special raid weekend. So from Friday, December 20th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time until Monday, December 23rd at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, the Psychic and Flying type Pokemon Lugia and the Fire and Flying type Pokemon Ho-Oh will be making their return to Legendary Raids, but only during that time window. So if you're still looking out for either a shiny Ho-Oh or a shiny Lugia, or if you still need either of those Pokemon for a Pokedex entry, or if you just want to try and find those Pokemon or a good IV version of that Pokemon, this will be a great chance to do so. So for our next event, Niantic has finally announced the annual Pokemon Go holiday event for 2019. So from Tuesday, December 24th at 12 a.m. in your local time all the way until Wednesday, January 1st at 11:59 p.m. in your local time, you'll be able to encounter Pokemon in costumes such as a Pikachu, Raichu, or a Pichu wearing beanies, as well as a Stantler wearing bells during this time. You'll be able to encounter more Ice-type Pokemon such as Sneasel, Delibird, and Snorunt, as well as the Gen 5 Pokemon Cubchoo, which will be making its debut during this event. Also worth noting is that the Pokemon Alolan Sandshrew, Alolan Vulpix, Pichu with a beanie, and Stantler with bells will be hatching from 7 kilometer eggs that you gain during this event. Raichu with a beanie and Stantler with bells will be available to battle in 2-star raids. If you use a Glacier Lure on a Pokestop during this event, you'll be able to encounter the Gen 5 Pokemon Cryogonal there are event exclusive field research that you can do during this event, which will allow you to encounter Pokemon such as the Pikachu with a beanie. And there'll be brand new Shadow Pokemon that will be debuting during this event, such as Shadow Delibird. Other things worth noting about this event is that there'll be new winter-themed avatar items coming to the shop, such as the same beanie that the Pikachu, Raichu, and Pichu will be wearing during this event. And you can also get yourself a Stantler sweater and Stantler headband. And if you're lucky, you may not only be able to encounter a shiny Stantler that's wearing the bells, but you'll also be able to encounter shiny Snover. So with this event comes a bunch of bonuses, some of which are only dedicated to specific days. So for the bonuses that are available throughout the entire event, for one, you'll be able to open twice as many gifts per day. So the amount of gifts you can open increases from 20 to 40. You'll also be able to carry twice as many gifts with you. So the amount of gifts in your inventory increases from 10 to 20. And you can get yourself one guaranteed single-use incubator each day whenever you spin the photo disc at a Pokestop. So for more day-specific bonuses, from Tuesday, December 24th at 12 a.m. to Wednesday, December 25th at 11:59 p.m. in your local time, you'll be able to gain 2 times catch candy and 2 times transfer candy during these days. From Thursday, December 26th at 12 a.m. to Friday, December 27th at your local time, you'll be able to get 2 times catch Stardust. And from Saturday, December 28th at 12 a.m. to Sunday, December 29th at 11:59 p.m., you'll be able to get yourself 2 times Catch XP during that time. And finally, from Monday, December 30th at 12 a.m. to Wednesday, January 1st at 11:59 p.m., you'll be able to gain half hatch distance whenever eggs are put into incubators during this time period. So for the final event that Niantic has announced, there will be a special winter weekend event occurring on Saturday, December 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. in your local time. During this time, Glacial Lore modules will be active for 2 hours instead of the usual half an hour, and Pokemon such as Lapras, Delibird, and Cubchoo will be available to encounter when you use those Glacial Lore modules. Also worth noting is that if you evolve a Eevee to a Glaceon, at these Glacial Lore modules, the Glaceon will now learn Last Resort. Also worth noting is that the Pokemon Regice will be returning to legendary raids during this time, and if you're lucky, you might be able to get yourself a shiny Regice during this time. And during the special winter weekend event, you'll be able to get yourself 2 additional raid passes during this time. It is worth noting that they still function the same way as the regular daily raid pass, so you only be able to hold on to one at a time, and you can only get those during this special event. So with all of that said, and with all of these events listed out, I definitely have to say that this is a really, really great way to close out the year for Pokemon Go. Alright, so truth be told, as I'm going through and editing this video, I didn't realize that the first news story was going to take a little under 8 minutes long, and considering the fact that we have 2 other stories and the fact that I actually have to go to work in a couple of minutes, and I don't really want to push the entire video back another day or 2, I figured I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this edit and pretty much say that that's all the news that I have for this video. Go ahead and try and post the other news stories as soon as I can, but yeah, for now, that's all the news I have for today, and I will see you guys in the next video.